History doesn't always announce itself with grand declarations or ceremonies. Sometimes it begins quietly with a frightened mother running through the cold, praying someone will answer her door. On a winter night in 1860 in Dorchester, Massachusetts, that desperate knock fell upon the Mahoney home. A neighbor's child was burning with fever. The family had no money for a doctor. And even if they did, no doctor would come, not to that neighborhood, not for people like them. Mary Mahoney was only 15 years old. But she didn't hesitate. She grabbed a basin, some clean cloth, and followed the woman into the night. The boy's skin was blistering hot. His breathing shallow. His eyes rolling back as fever dreams took hold. Mary stayed through the night. She cooled his forehead with damp cloth, adjusted his position when he struggled to breathe, and whispered calm words whenever fear flickered across his face. She didn't leave until morning light crept through the window and his breathing finally steadied. The mother wept with gratitude. Mary simply said, "This is what we do for each other." But inside something had shifted. She realized that caring for others wasn't just kindness, it was her calling. Mary Eliza Mahoney was born in 1845 to parents who had escaped slavery. She grew up in a world that placed her at the very bottom, black, female, and poor. Society told her what she could not do, where she could not go, and who she could never become. But Mary had something no one could take away. A stubborn belief that care mattered more than status, and that healing hands didn't need permission. When she became old enough to work, she took a job at the New England Hospital for Women and Children. Not as a nurse, but as a cook, a cleaner, a washer, and anything else they would allow her to do. For years, Mary scrubbed floors, carried linens, and emptied bedpans, all while watching nurses move through the halls with quiet authority. She carefully studied how they bandages, how they spoke to frightened patients, how they checked pulses and recognized danger before it became crisis. She memorized everything. Then one day the hospital announced it was opening a formal nursing program, one of the first in the entire country. Mary applied. She didn't expect to be accepted. She knew how the world saw her. But to her astonishment and to everyone else's, the hospital admitted her. When Mary entered the program in 1878, she was 33 years old, older than most, and the only black woman in a class of 42. The training was brutal. 16-hour days. 7 days a week. 16 months straight. Students studied anatomy, pharmacology, and patient care while also performing the physical labor that kept the hospital running, cooking, cleaning, even assisting in surgeries. But for Mary, the hardest part wasn't the workload. It was the isolation. Students formed friendships. They studied together. They shared meals. They supported each other. Mary ate alone. Some would not sit beside her. Some would not speak to her. And some patients refused her care entirely. One afternoon, a wealthy woman was admitted for a minor procedure. Mary entered her room with her nursing bag in hand. The woman took one look at her and said loudly, "I will not be touched by colored hands." Mary froze for a moment, then turned to leave. But before she reached the door, the woman's daughter, a girl no older than 12, stepped forward. "Please stay," the girl whispered. "My mother doesn't understand. But I see how the other nurses talk about you. They say you're the best one here." Mary stayed. She treated the woman with the same patience and skill she offered every patient. And by the time the woman was discharged, she asked Mary's name and thanked her. After 16 grueling months, only 3 students remained. Mary was one of them. Graduation day was small and formal, held in the hospital's main hall. Families gathered, staff filled the walls, and whispers rippled through the room when Mary's name was called. Some families shifted uncomfortably. One woman stood and left. But Mary walked forward anyway. The director handed her a certificate, a simple piece of paper representing everything she had endured. Their eyes met for a brief second. In that moment, Mary saw something she had rarely been given: respect. She folded the certificate, returned to her seat, and sat among a sea of white uniforms, the lone black woman in the entire graduating class. She had not just graduated, she had made history. In 1879, Mary Eliza Mahoney became the first African-American registered nurse in the United States. But a certificate alone didn't open doors. Hospitals refused to hire her. "We don't employ colored nurses," they said. So Mary chose another path: private duty nursing. She went directly into people's homes to care for the sick. And though families were hesitant at first, that changed quickly. Mary was calm under pressure. She was precise. She noticed things other nurses missed: a change in breathing, a shift in color, the earliest warning signs of infection. She saved lives that others might have lost. One family hired her to care for their dying grandmother, a woman hardened by the Civil War and distrustful of everyone. On the first day, the grandmother turned her face to the wall. "I don't want her," she said. Mary set down her bag quietly and began her work anyway. She measured medicines carefully, adjusted pillows without being asked, spoke gently even when ignored. Days passed. Then one afternoon, the grandmother reached for Mary's hand. "Stay a little longer today," she whispered. By the time the woman passed, weeks later, she held Mary's hand like a daughter holding her mother's. The family later wrote, "We did not know what we needed until Mary showed us. She gave our mother dignity in her final days. We will never forget her." Stories like this spread. Soon, families requested Mary by name, willing to adjust schedules, willing to pay more as long as she could be the one caring for their loved ones. But Mary didn't want only her own success. She wanted the system to change. In 1896, the American Nurses Association was founded, but black nurses were barred from joining. Mary spoke out. Her voice wasn't loud, but it was steady and people listened. In 1908, she helped found the National Association of Colored Graduate Nurses, the first organization dedicated to supporting black nurses, fighting discrimination and expanding access to fair training and fair work. Younger nurses saw her not just as a mentor but as a pathfinder. She often told them, "The road becomes clearer each time one of us walks it. So walk it well. Walk it with dignity. And leave it better than you found it." In her later years, Mary was diagnosed with breast cancer. Even as her health declined, she stayed involved, speaking at conferences, advocating for equality, and supporting the nurses who came after her. She believed that caring for others wasn't merely a profession, it was a way of living. Mary Eliza Mahoney passed away in 1926 at the age of 80. But her legacy only grew. In 1936, the organization she helped build established the Mary Mahoney Award, one of the highest honors in American nursing. In 1976, she was inducted into the Nursing Hall of Fame. In 1993, she entered the National Women's Hall of Fame. Today, every nurse who walks into a hospital, every student who dreams of healing, every person who believes that compassion can change the world, all of them walk on a path that Mary helped build. Her story reminds us that courage doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it looks like a 15-year-old girl walking into the cold night to care for a neighbor's child. Sometimes it looks like a woman in her 30s scrubbing floors just to stay close to the work she loves. Sometimes it looks like standing in a graduation hall holding a certificate while whispers follow you and walking forward anyway. Mary Eliza Mahoney didn't wait for the world to welcome her. She simply showed up, day after day, year after year, and proved through her hands, her heart, and her unshakable dignity that she belonged. And because she did, thousands of others found the courage to follow.